such a fool. Talking about how I'll never ever find a man like you. Pause. What up? What up? Welcome to Rhino Tool Podcast. What's today? September 12th, 2025. That'd be crazy if I forgot what year it is. I told somebody or wrote something down, or I think I texted somebody saying, hey, it's 2024, wake up, stop acting like a retard or something like along those lines. Fairly recently, like in the last 30 days, and then people started roasting me. What up, what up? Week 2 of the NFL season underway. Dude, Green Bay Packers look legit, okay? Now, I'm not going to freak out too much or overreact too much. That's what all after week 1 is, and even after week 2 is. Overreaction time in the NFL. But good Lord, their defense looks good. The Green Bay Packers they beat up on Washington last night. I'm watching Micah Parsons, and I know it's no surprise that Micah Parsons can just, destroy and wreck games. Holy shit, dude. I can't believe Dallas would let that guy get away. I can't believe anyone who would have a player like him would let him get away. Just an out-of-control pass rusher. I'm watching that game last night. And that's all I notice is on defense with Green Bay is the Packers, he's just clocking people out. Laramie Tunsil's no slouch. I know Laramie Tunsil gets a lot of penalties, and everyone remembers him from his gas mask antics and, things of that nature. He's pushing Laramie Tunsil back far, dude. He's dragging him back. Laramie Tunsil makes $25-30 million a year. He's just getting pushed back. And then Jordan Love just looks. They're all playing. I mean, Green Bay. Green Bay is starting to look like something serious here. Again. Well, actually, I shouldn't say they're starting to look serious. They're looking very promised for what is 2 weeks into the season. I mean, I guess we're 8 days into the NFL regular season. I hate these Thursday night games. I know I sound like a broken record. Ryan, you're always complaining about Thursday night football. I actually enjoyed watching the game last night. But it's just Green Bay and Washington, two teams that, this is a potential playoff matchup. These are two potential NFC championship, but these are two teams that should be playing with a full week of rest and preparation amongst each other. That's just how I feel, okay? But don't tell Amazon.com that. Certainly don't tell Roger Goodell in the NFL that, okay? Because they don't care. But then again, I'm watching, so does it matter? Does it matter if I'm still going to harass my mom in the middle of the first quarter? Hey, Ma, what's the Amazon Prime password? Ma, I need the Prime password, okay? I know. I got a full-time job, okay? I'm getting health insurance in a couple weeks. I live alone, but I'm still using your Amazon Prime. Okay, I just need the password so I can watch the Commanders-Packers game. Please, Ma. Please. No, I can't. I know I should be paying the $14.99 a month for Amazon Prime myself. I know I should, but I've been on your Amazon Prime account since 2016 or something. Okay, please, Ma, please. Thank you. No, that was not me ordering sex toys off Amazon. Whatever. Dude, you guys know this went way under the news. You guys know they're taking away, Amazon Prime if you're not in the primary household. I only have till October to use my mom's Amazon Prime. And then I'm going to just have to start stealing packages like everyone else in New York City. I'm not getting Amazon Prime. And I'm not paying. This is why I'm going to Temu. I'm going to be using Temu, and I'm going to be going to luxury apartment buildings in New York City and stealing packages. I'm going to be stealing packages. Okay? That's what it's come to. Okay? I'm not fucking paying for Prime. I don't know if it would be worth. I buy a lot of shit on Amazon, but I don't know if it'd be worth it for me to get Amazon Prime. Can I say I'm like a student or I'm trans or something? Don't they give discounts out for that? Okay. Moving on. I recorded an entire episode. I shouldn't say. Yeah, I did actually record an entire episode on Tuesday or Wednesday or something, and it didn't get deleted. I'm gonna end up putting certain thoughts I had for week 1 of the NFL at the end of this podcast. So week 1 of the NFL is going to be at the end of this. Won't be video. All right, I got the new camera lens over here. Cost me an arm and a leg. Okay, I'm going to give no, I'm not even going to joke about that. I like having all four limbs. Getting confused that I have 5. I have a new camera over here that literally looks like a sniper rifle's pointing at me. But it was just an audio-only episode the other day. Went to the Patriots game. That's later on in the episode. Other than that, what the hell's going on? Big series for the Boston Red Sox this weekend, taking on the New York Yankees at Fenway Park. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Both teams are, still behind Toronto. I mean, the Blue Jays just keep finding ways to win games. You know, and the problem with Major League Baseball is we got to play interleague play in nonsense all the time, so we barely play division teams anymore. Oh, great. Red Sox, Yankees. Absolute primetime matchup. Playoff implications on the line. Friday night. Giolito on the bump. You want to know where to watch the game? Apple TV. Yep. They wonder why nobody gives a shit about baseball anymore. And they wonder if they know. All right, big series for the Sox, though. I mean, I hope they get it done big late. Is this the last? I think this is the last time the Red Sox and Yankees play each other this year, unless it would be the postseason. Hopefully they can figure some shit out. I don't know. Where do I even start, dude? What are my thoughts on everything? We got a Super Bowl rematch. All right, Super Bowl. What are we on? Super Bowl 58? Was that last year? Philadelphia, Kansas City. We got Philadelphia. By the way, total bullshit, the whole Jalen Carter situation. I know it was last week, whatever. I was fighting with people on the internet all weekend about it. Jalen Carter should be suspended for like 4 games. He spit on somebody on national TV when the entire world was watching. I mean, what were the television ratings for that game? You know, he gets thrown out of the game before he can play a snap. And they're counting that as a suspension so he could play against Kansas City this week. Make no mistake, if the Eagles were playing against the Giants or some lousy team like, I don't know, Chicago, he'd be suspended again. This is only because it's a Super Bowl rematch this guy's playing. That's absolutely ridiculous. Since when can you get suspended? You get ejected from a game. Okay, now I know what people are saying. Well, he didn't play a snap. Yeah, okay. But Philadelphia still game planned with him all week. All right, I understand he didn't play. But now they're playing a good team and he gets to play. And they'll take away a paycheck. This is why. I mean, if you want to read about Jalen Carter, he didn't exactly have the cleanest history coming into the draft. Okay? He didn't exactly have the cleanest history coming into the draft. Should I just read Jalen Carter headlines from Georgia? Should I do this? This is why people act like this. I know people are gonna say in 2 minutes from now, Ryan, that's intense. You don't gotta think like that. This is what it is. Jalen Carter was involved in a fatal car accident on January 15, 2023 that killed 2 people. Georgia offensive lineman Devin Willock and recruiting staff at Chandler LaCroix after the University of Colorado. After the playoff celebration they won. Carter was racing one of his friends, LaCroix, who was driving at over 100 miles an hour before the vehicle crashed. Jalen Carter, who's driving over 100 miles an hour, it leads to killing one of his friends who is in the car with him, and then the other guy who's in the other car gets misdemeanor charges of reckless driving for racing. Resulted in probation and community service. They give him a slap on the wrist, okay? It doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not saying this guy doesn't have to live with that or anything. What's the NFL do? He spits on somebody's chest right in the middle of the thing. And everyone's saying, Dak Prescott spit first. Dak Prescott was like 9 yards away from him. This guy walked up and spit literally on his jersey. I think Dak Prescott changed his jersey at halftime. I'd have been going crazy. Bro, you spit on me. I'll say this right now. Obviously, Jalen Carter could kill me. All right? Legitimately. Probably wouldn't be that much effort for somebody of his size to kill me. All right? If he punched me in the face, I probably wouldn't punch him back. But if he spit on me, I don't think I'd be able to control myself to not react to that. Knowing he's, 6'7", 330 pounds. I really don't. I think that's the worst thing you can do to somebody is spit on him. And now this piece of shit is, and make no mistake, Jalen Carter's a total piece of shit. I'll put that on the record right now. But now what's going to happen is they're going to play in Dallas whenever they play, and they're going to be walking out of the tunnel, and everyone's going to be spitting on this guy. And it'll be interesting to see what their reactions are then, But just total bullshit by the league. All they preach about, integrity this, and they pick and choose everything they do. Everything they do, they pick and choose. And they wonder why the players just There's just inconsistencies all over the place. So that counts as a suspension so he can play against Kansas City. And I hope they beat Kansas City. I don't like Kansas City. I don't like the Eagles either. I don't really feel either way about those teams, honestly. I don't think I feel any way about the Eagles or the Chiefs. I don't like them. I don't root for them. When they play certain teams, I guess there's other teams I'd rather see them beat, but I don't. They don't. Those teams. It's not like I'm like I put a video on TikTok and everyone's well fuck Dallas. I don't care about Dallas. I'm like honestly, I kind of would rather Philadelphia beat Dallas. Honestly, I really would. The other night when they were playing, even after all that Jalen Carter bullshit. Again, someone who's not a fan of those teams, I dislike Dallas way more than I dislike Philadelphia. It's just total bullshit. Total bullshit. Yeah, so there's that. What else do we got going on? Yeah, Super Bowl rematch. I mean, that'll be at 4 o'clock. I'm actually excited for that game. I'll be able to watch that game Sunday. I take it that has to be the national game of the week, right? Philadelphia, Kansas City. To the left, everything you own in the box to the left, in the closet. That's my stuff. If I bought it, please don't touch. There's some good games this weekend. What do we got? Pittsburgh, Seattle. That'll be a fun one. Patriots, Dolphins. Patriots need to bounce back from that lackluster, piss-poor performance the other day. I finally got to watch the highlights the other night. I watched because I went to the game Sunday. I went to the game last week, and you know how it is. You got to end up watching the highlights after and see what's going on. This is the problem. You want to know the problem with fantasy football and all this nonsense out here? Is I kept hearing, I didn't watch the highlights until Tuesday night for the Patriots game. I keep hearing all this nonsense that Ashton Jeanty didn't play a good game. Ashton Jeanty didn't play a good game. Because of what? His statistics? If you are a Raiders fan or you're the Raiders organization, watching him play the other day, watching him run, and you drafting this guy, 7th overall, 8th overall, which I think is usually almost always too high to draft a running back. Look at the Falcons. They drafted Bijan Robinson, 5th overall or something a few years. I think it's almost always too high to draft a running back. I saw Ashton Jeanty. Some of those plays, he was incredible. How low to the ground he was, how fast he was, how strong he was. Listen to people saying he didn't talk. I watched the 48-minute version of that game or whatever the hell it is, where they just show all they show all the plays. It's just, he was fucking running very well. Very well. You know? Oh, and talk about another great day, but nevertheless, lackluster performance by the Patriots. They're going down to Miami. What's it going to be, 88 on Sunday in Miami? And we're going to go Miami weather right here. Miami, a place where the Patriots historically struggle. Historically. Sunday, a high of 84. Humidity, though. Humidity, 73%. Windy, chance of thunderstorms. A place where the Patriots historically struggle. Tyreek Hill's acting like a lunatic. They're already calling for Mike McDaniel's job. Chris Greer's on the hot seat. Stephen Jones is out here being an asshole, being a total piece of shit. By the way, Brian Flores, great job the other night on Monday Night Football. Great job by Brian Flores, my favorite defensive coordinator in football. But the Patriots go down there absent of their defensive coordinator, Terrell Williams, once again for health issues. Once again. There's a team in potential disarray here. Potential disarray. And listen, the Patriots, nothing's going to be easy for the Patriots this year. Nothing's going to be easy for that team. You want to see them improve. You want to see them take a step up. Okay? But Chris Gonzalez still isn't practicing. He's not going to play. He's still not practicing. There's no way he's playing. There's no way. Hamstring? Not practicing on Thursday. He didn't practice yesterday. He's not going to play. You know, and we might be a few weeks away still from Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez got hurt in July. He's going to have to get in full football shape before he can play. His conditioning, you know. But you go down to Miami, you got a team that there's dysfunction, there's hecticness. It's going to be their home opener. I mean, let's face it, they don't really have fans, you know. It's not like Miami's a crazy home field advantage, minus the fact that the Patriots sideline will be in the sun. Something that I think is one of the greatest, as much as I hate and have a lack of respect for the Miami Dolphins organization, and I will say that on record. What they did at Hard Rock Stadium, their stadium down there, the visitors' sideline is in the sun, and the Dolphins' sideline is in the shade, and it's angled the way they placed the roof there intentionally. Great form of gamesmanship, and we need more stuff like that throughout all of sports. I think that's one of the coolest features they do because it matters when the team's out there. And again, they're going to wear white. Okay, now it's going to be hot and humid. It's going to be 84 and humid. All right, and it'd still be hot for Miami, but at least when they go on the sideline, they're going to be on the shade, and they're going to be wearing white jerseys. The sun's not going to be pounding them the way it does their road companions. That being said, the team can't play once it's below like 50 degrees. Nevertheless, good move, Miami. Very good move. Smart thinking, whoever thought that one out. Whoever came up to Stephen Ross and said, hey, I got a great idea here. Let's make it so the visitors are in the sun the entire time. And they have to wear dark jerseys. Let's do that. That's great thinking right there. Great thinking. Now, whoever told Stephen Ross, hey, we got to fire this Brian Flores guy and get Tua Tagovailoa, well, I think you've already been suspended, so fuck them. Nevertheless, Pat's got to go down there and make something happen Sunday. All right? Patriots got to make something happen in Miami. We had a great sports weekend, by the way. Red Sox, Yankees, NFL, great Thursday night game. Canelo Crawford. Let's go, Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford. All right? T-Bud from Omaha, Nebraska. Taking on the red-headed Mexican Canelo Alvarez from Guadalajara, Mexico. I hope Crawford kicks his ass. I hope Crawford kicks his fucking ass. We got the Crawford-Canelo fight Saturday. College football's on. I don't know if there's any. I'm sure there is a horse race on. But just a great sports weekend. And then Monday night, finally, they do the right thing on Mondays. Last year, those Monday night football games that were, we're going to start one at 7:15 and then the other one at like 8 o'clock, and there'd be two games on at the same time. They're doing it the right way this weekend, this upcoming Monday. A game at 7 o'clock, and then we're going out west for the Raiders-Chargers game for the 10 o'clock Monday night football game. Okay, now you'll hear me complaining about late kickoffs, late starts to games all the time, okay? All the time. If the NFL decided to do a doubleheader on Monday night with the way they're doing it this weekend, first kickoff at 7, the second one at 10, no complaints from me. Put an East Coast game and put a West Coast game. You can't watch all 9 games on a Sunday anyways, all right? Listen, I know what you're thinking. Oh, no, I can because I watch fucking Red Zone and all this other Listen, I got multiple TVs in the house, okay? Multiple. The max I could go is like 2 with actually knowing what the hell's going on and that's really because of commercial time, okay? It's really because of commercial time you get that in there. All right? You need to know what the hell's going on, okay? You're not going to be able to watch every game on a Sunday anyways, even if you're at like a sports book. Even if you're at like a crazy sports book with like 50 TVs, you're not going to be able to focus on it. You put 2 games on a Monday night right after each other, an East Coast game and then a West Coast game. I'm all for that. You know? Yeah, the game's going to get over at 1. If you don't want to stay up for it, don't fucking stay up for it. Don't stay up for it. That's fine. You know, I personally like the 10 o'clock Monday night game. It's crazy, too. So that's it. They're playing in Vegas. So Vegas has, where the Raiders play, Allegiant Stadium. They got the Crawford-Canelo fight Saturday night, and then Monday it's going to be football. That's amazing, huh? Those people are going to work and flip it over for a football game. Talented people there. But yeah, no, I can't wait. I got a great weekend ahead. Work. You see me do me dirt. Who works 6 days a week? I'm working out here 6 days a week, every single goddamn day. And then Sunday, even Sunday is going to be work. Well, Sunday I'm not doing nothing but drinking at a cookout. So yeah, great weekend coming up for the NFL in football, just sports in general. Just another great sports weekend. We got a Super Bowl rematch, Canelo Crawford. How do I feel about the Canelo Crawford fight? I can't stand Canelo Alvarez. I want Crawford to kick his ass. I love Terrence Crawford. They're moving up in weight. Everything in Canelo Alvarez's career has always been in his favor as far as win fights have been, decisions he's gotten. I think it's going to be very difficult for Terrence Crawford to go into a fight in Las Vegas, which, make no mistake, it's an American versus a Mexican. There's going to be way more Mexicans and Canelo fans at this fight. There's going to be so many Mexicans and so many Canelo fans at this fight. I think it's going to be very difficult for Terrence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez in general, just because Canelo's a great fighter. You know, I can't stand Canelo Alvarez. I'm not a fan of his. I shouldn't even say I can't stand him. I'm just not a fan of Canelo. Great fight, amazing fighter. No doubt about that. One of the best fighters I've ever seen. But I don't like him. I didn't like him when he was a Golden Boy. I didn't like all the bullshit with DAZN. Not a fan of his. Just not. Crawford, on the other hand, every single time I watch Crawford's fights, I feel entertained. I think he's outrageous. Not to say I haven't been entertained with Canelo fights or anything like that. I just think it's going to be very difficult for the much less popular Terence Crawford to get a decision in Las Vegas. I think he almost has to knock him out or, like, destroy him in this fight, which, I mean, Crawford's going up, 18 pounds in this fight? And they keep saying, well, this is how he walks around. This is how he, yeah, of course they're going to say that. They got a fight to sell, and they want this thing to be competitive. And it's on Netflix, so I'm glad it's a free fight. I'm very happy it's a free fight. But nevertheless, it's going to be a very entertaining. I'm very excited for the fight. I'm super excited for the fight, honestly. How do I think it'll go? I mean, just because you're going to get the bullshit. I mean, Canelo's got some crazy. I mean, we all remember Adelaide Bird. Again, Gennady Golovkin, first Canelo Alvarez fight, one of the biggest robberies I ever seen. They ruled it a draw when Golovkin beat the shit out of him. And I still think Golovkin won the second fight, too. Actually, the last time in my life, that was in, September of 2018. I had a bunch of my buddies, a couple scumbags who are probably listening to this podcast right now. It was right when I moved to New York. They were all coming out to get drunk and watch the Patriots at some bar. That was a total disaster. The Pats got smoked by Jacksonville. It was like 100 degrees out. But we went out and watched the Alvarez-Golovkin fight, the second one. And remember, it wasn't just, they fought and then they fought again. No, it wasn't that. They fought, and then a week before the fight, Canelo Alvarez failed a drug test. They were supposed to fight on Kentucky Derby Day that year of 2018. They were supposed to fight. Alvarez failed a drug test, said he ate some bad steak tips or something. He had some bad birria tacos that were fucking tainted with some drug in them. And then he didn't fight for another, 4 or 5 months. Okay? I feel like people kind of forget about that part. The guy was using steroids as a fighter. Golovkin said, fuck it. Golovkin tuned up. I remember he murdered someone on Showtime, I think it was. Someone that just wasn't supposed to fight against him. They fought again. And I was furious at the second fight. Now, I thought Alvarez fought much better in that fight than he did the first time, regardless of what was in his system. But I went fucking ballistic when they gave that fight to... I was just... And I wasn't acting out of control or nothing in this. I mean, I was drunk. I was certainly drunk when they gave the decision to Alvarez over Golovkin. But it was more so they were just asking me to leave because... there was mad people in there pulling for Canelo. And there was, I remember there was, a group of these, I don't think they were from Kazakhstan. I don't think they were from, but they were, Eastern European. And they were doing the same thing. They were screaming when they gave the decision to Canelo, calling it fucking bullshit. And I remember being with them on the side. And I was and then the fucking, but if they didn't want the bar to just end up a fucking bloodbath, so they threw us all on the goddamn street. Not, yanked us up. You guys got to get out of here. I think that's the last time I've been asked to leave an establishment. Something that I probably won't be asked to do again. Because I don't know if I would... Yeah, those days are behind me. But there will be I'll be perfectly sober for this fight on Saturday. I'll be perfectly sober, behaving, rooting for Terence Crawford, the United States of America, to take out Canelo Alvarez. I hope he does. I would lean, though, if I had to bet this fight. Now, I don't think Canelo Alvarez should be as big of a favorite as he is. He's a 2-1 favorite right now. I saw, 210 they had him? It might have gone down since then. I don't think Canelo Alvarez should be as... I wouldn't... If I was betting on this fight, I would bet for it to go to the distance because I think it's going to be very tough for Terence Crawford to knock out Canelo or even stop him. And I just don't think Crawford's going to get knocked out. All right, now what do I know? Okay, Ryan, what do you know? All right, you're not some boxing expert. Yeah, but I've watched all of these guys' fights. All right, and that's another thing about this fight. It's a real boxing match. I'll give it to you. It's better than fucking, I don't know, Jake Paul fighting some geriatric. I'll give you that. It's actual boxing. These are two Hall of Fame fighters. But I've been watching both of these guys fight since I was in high school. I've been watching both of them fight since I was in high school. These guys are old. They should have fought 7-8 years ago, maybe even more, honestly. Realistically speaking, they probably should have fought in 2015, 2016, you know? But that's what boxing is, you know? And you know what? At least we have them fighting at some point, which it's just crazy to think this was the most popular sport in the world, and now this is what we've come to, you know? Speaking of which, last night I'm on the phone after work, on the phone with my ma, just talking shit about my day or whatever. I'm walking up 6th Avenue in New York City, and a big-ass, I don't know if it's an Escalade or a Denali or a Chevy Suburban, is driving right on the side of me, like where I'm stopped, and I look to the side, and it was Conor McGregor just sitting out the window, like just standing there looking out the window, and I was like, oh, no shit, it's Conor McGregor. And I go, yo, and then I walked up and gave him a fucking fist pump in traffic, you know, kept him on his way, and I was like on the phone with my mom, like, yo, I just fucking gave a dap to fuck Conor McGregor, you know. So his hands made him a lot of money. My fucking voice and skills gonna make me a lot. No, I don't know. Is it gonna? No, I don't. Yeah, it is actually. You know, it is. I'm not even gonna be unconfident about that. All right. I'm in the process of getting rich. Okay, that's what's going on in my life right now. Yeah, what else am I in the process of getting evicted? I don't even want to say that. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Nevertheless, great sports weekend. I don't know. There's a lot I'm excited for. Let me see some other games today. I love the Monday night doubleheader. I'm going to say that right now. I love the late night Monday night doubleheader. I'm super excited for that. Giants, Cowboys, Bills, Jets. I feel like there's another good 4 o'clock game. Falcons, Minnesota. Oh, J.J. McCarthy. He impressed me the other night. J.J. McCarthy on Monday night. He really impressed me the other night. Oh, man. Look at the first. These are the 2 Monday Night Football games. The 2 Monday Night Football games for week 2. 7 o'clock, we have Tampa Bay going down to Houston. That's going to be a fucking awesome, fun game. Tampa and Houston at 7. And then at 10 o'clock, the Chargers going to Vegas to face the Raiders. Those are 2 great games. So that's going to be a good doubleheader. I was so impressed with J.J. McCarthy the other night. I watched that full game. What was it, that was the Monday night game. I thought Chicago was on their way. Minnesota, obviously, a super good team. You see Minnesota. There's good players. The big question mark is, are they going to get anything out of quarterback? You know, are they going to be able to get performance out of quarterback? J.J. McCarthy threw a pretty bad pick 6. You know, there's no denying that. Throws a bad pick 6, but he led them down the field at the end of that. That wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to rely on everybody else and stuff like that. I was so impressed with J.J. McCarthy. And then to see them after they take the lead and he's screaming at his teammates and hitting the offensive lineman, that was very impressive by J.J. McCarthy. Very impressive. You know, now he's still a second-year player and kind of like a rookie, even though I guess they said he can't win Rookie of the Year. I thought he could have won Rookie of the Year. I don't know why. I thought the NFL, it was like that. I know in the NBA it's like that, but what do they know? Those morons in the NBA. I mean, how bad is the NBA? You know? I saw Adam Silver say the other day, because someone asked him at a press conference, now that you need like 95 different subscription packages, they go, what about fans who can't watch, who can't afford to watch all this? He's like, well, it's a highlight sport anyways. You can watch it on TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. I was like, oh my God. It's the exact problem with basketball. No one even watches the games anymore. You know, they changed the rule the other day that if you throw oh my God, whatever. I'm going to keep going. My camera died. I got to figure out why my camera keeps turning off because of heat. But they changed the rule the other day that if you fucking throw a full court heave up, it doesn't count against your field goal percentage. What kind of bullshit is that? You know? What kind of absolute nonsense is that? That's what they got to do to like get these players to throw. I saw it happen in the finals and in the playoffs. If you got a rebound and you just don't yak it up with 0.3 of a second left to potentially try getting, and I know the odds of hitting it are fucking 1 in 300 or something, but it's like in the playoffs when I saw guys just dribbling it out because they're worried about their field goal percentage. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. The NBA it's just an embarrassing league. Super embarrassing, you know. Worried about, oh yeah, we don't want long fucking heaves. We don't want a shot 3/4 of the court to go negatively impact someone's field goal percentage. They're all shooting the ball fucking 97 times a game anyways. 1 half-court heave, that's like 1/10 of a percentage of your field goal percentage. Just appease these players too much. All right, I know there was a little skip in this video. This thing's coming to the end. If you listen to audio, you're going to hear my week 1 thoughts. It's at the end of this. If you listen on video, like, share, subscribe, whatever. I'm going to be back here either Monday night or Tuesday morning. I'm not sure yet. Enjoy the fight. Let's go, Terrence Crawford. Crawford, I hope you kick fucking Canelo's ass. I hope the Patriots get a win down in Miami. And I hope everyone enjoys the weekend and everything else. And, yeah, turn your phones off, chill out, have fun. We're in the greatest country of the world, regardless of what people want you to think. Ryan O'Toole Podcast. I'm out of here.